The Pantheon Raid Boss Gauntlet is now live in Destiny 2, and in week 1 you have 4 bosses you can take down to get a sweet emblem, a bunch of raid gear, deep sight weapons, and your choice of an exotic raid weapon. And this is all completely free. You don't need to own the DLC the raids come from, or have completed the normal raid. I'm going to go over how Pantheon works, the changes to each boss encounter, and some simple strategies. Since the encounters aren't drastically altered, this won't be an in-depth mechanics guide, but I'll have several linked in the description if you need a refresher. To start, you need to grab the Divine Weapon request from Lord Shaxx in the Hall of Champions. This will allow you to access Pantheon and award you an exotic raid weapon at the end. As for what to expect, Pantheon Week 1 is Atraks Sovereign, tasking you to face 4 bosses in a row: Golgoroth, Caretaker, Zo'Aurc, and Atraks-1. Upon completion of an encounter, there'll be a transmat banner next to the chest. Once someone interacts with it, you'll all be loaded into the next encounter. During the encounter, you'll notice that the strike scoring system is on, so getting kills by different methods or picking up orbs will have different point medals show up on screen. The ultimate goal is to reach Platinum Threshold, which seems to be above 500,000 during each encounter, as that'll award you progress on the triumphs that specify you need a high score and a weekly adept weapon. Earning the score will be easy with the bonus timer in the upper left. While that is active, all points are tripled. But don't stress on the time limit, as each reflect a standard run of each encounter, so 2 phasing most of the bosses, 3 flooring Caretaker. And don't worry about your overall time or wiping. The score is per encounter and doesn't decrease if you're just waiting around between fights. Now before you head in, take a look at the active modifiers. This week's version will have you 5 under power, so it should feel fairly similar to normal raiding. However, there will be an increased number of enemies and some of higher rank. This sort of challenge isn't really meant for non-experienced raiders, so if you don't know what is going on, please do further research on the mechanics, watch some guides, and make it clear to whatever team you join. Additionally, make sure you look at the active surges to increase your damage of your weapons and abilities. This week it is Strand and Void surges. It isn't necessary to match, but it is free damage. Lastly, you have the Class Warfare modifier. Upon using your class ability, you and nearby allies will gain bonus damage and damage resistance. This buff lasts for 15 seconds, can stack up to 3 times, and can be refreshed as long as someone keeps using their class ability within roughly 30 meters. As for specifics, that damage buff is 10% at times 1, 15% at times 2, and 20% at times 3. And this buff stacks with other buffs, like Surges and Radiant. As for damage resistance, it follows a similar progression, with 3 stacks giving around 20% damage reduction, stackable with all other sources. Let's go over each encounter now. First up is Golgoroth from King's Fall. The knights that spawn right before each damage phase are now bosses, and you have a chance of some ogres to spawn in the back of the map along with the wizards. The big changes are during the damage phase. For those that are taking Golgoroth's Gaze, near where you'll stand to turn the boss will be invisible Minotaurs that keep spawning. They are only elites, but you'll have to worry about them and the boss's attacks. My advice is to use machine guns and auto rifles and have some way to easily heal yourself, like using rifts and healing grenades. When someone has the Gaze, the other person can help clear adds in the middle and the invisible Minotaurs by the current Gaze holder. Those dealing damage, there will be 2 people with the unstable light for each pool. So make sure you keep an eye on that debuff and go stand by the boss when the timer ends so you deal big damage to them and not blow up your team. As for a team comp and damage strategy, the more sources of healing the better, be it rifts, wells, healing grenades, or bastion barricades. If you can, place a tether or throw grenades behind the boss to keep the respawning adds at bay. For damage, heavy grenade launchers like Edge Transit or even rockets will do. However, be aware of everyone around you. If you find your team constantly blowing themselves up, just take the slow approach and use precision weapons like Linears, Sleeper, or Leviathan's Breath. You should complete the fight in 1 or 2 full damage cycles, which is within the bonus time for Platinum Threshold. Next is the Caretaker from Vow of the Disciple. On the outer balconies of each floor, expect to find an ogre every so often. In the middle where the Caretaker spawns, there will be a mix of Phalanxes and Arc-shielded Centurions. These enemies spawn often, but should be easy to kill. However, if your ad clear teammates can't keep the rest of the enemies at bay, using a glaive for extra defense or one person sacrificing damage and using a machine gun are good options. For the runners in the Relic Room, expect to find those spiral bees that'll apply pervading darkness. If you're fast enough, you can just outright ignore them. Most importantly, keep an eye on your pervading darkness stacks so you don't die to that. For team comp and damage, one Warlock on Well or a Bubble Titan will suffice. As for roles, divide yourself up into teams of 2. 2 people will be in charge of stunning the boss and minor ad clear, 2 people will focus on clearing the waves of ads that spawn on the balconies and walkways, and 2 people will be in charge of grabbing the glyphs. Since time is of the essence for the bonus points multiplier and avoiding pervading darkness, equipping lightweight weapons for running does help, but the priority should be to get 3 glyphs every time you enter the Relic Room. If you notice your stacks of pervading darkness are getting too high, switch out with one of your dedicated ad clear players. When it comes to boss damage, you don't have to try terribly hard if you are 3-flooring the boss. Linear fusions are the safest, but grenade launchers and rockets will do well for burst damage. Just don't move if you're using explosive weapons, as doing so will cause the deaths of many of your teammates. If you are trying to skip a floor, you need to coordinate with your team and maximize damage dealt by using burst options like Parasite and Strand Grapple Titan. This isn't necessary to complete the encounter to get Platinum Threshold. Next is the Explicator of Planets from Root of Nightmares. On the upper balconies, Incendiaries will spawn with Void Shields. The Lieutenant Colossuses will have Arc Shields, and the boss will randomly summon a Fire Tornado on a player, so watch out. Upon successfully aligning the planets, a Tormentor will spawn in the middle. He will despawn at the start of the damage phase, but you should aim to kill him for points and survivability. Thankfully, he isn't a boss-ranked enemy, so he is finishable and susceptible to crowd control effects like Freeze and Suspend. Lastly, during the damage phase, the boss will send fire tornadoes to all 3 plates each time, so use healing and defensive options and avoid them if you can. For team comp and damage, it behaves just like the normal encounter. Ad clear does play an important role, so have your 2 dedicated players use chain-killing weapons like Polaris, Graviton, Trinity Ghoul, or even a machine gun. To make that Tormentor go down quickly, you can have someone use Divinity to make the crit easier to hit. As for boss damage, because of all the tornadoes, the more healing options the better. So if you don't have a couple of Warlocks, then Bastion Barricades and Healing Grenades will suffice. For dealing damage, you are all again standing relatively close, so be cautious of using explosive weapons like heavy GLs or rockets. For safety, Linear Fusions or Leviathan's Breath will do fine. For the final fight, you have Atraks-1 from Deepstone Crypt. The main changes are tankier enemies. The Sentinel Servitors now have Void Shields, the Augment Vandals are now significantly harder to kill, and you'll have to deal with Tormentors. The first one will spawn down below on whatever side you kill the final Servitor on. If they are left alive, they will teleport up to the space station, so try to defeat them. It isn't a boss enemy, so finishers and CC abilities work on them. During the damage phase, a second Tormentor will spawn up in the space station after you've defeated 2 of Atrax' replications. As for team comp and strategy, you're all in on boss burst DPS. So that is using weapons like Parasite and Grand Overture, and damage supers like Thunder Crash with Cuirass of the Falling Star, Blade Barrage, Nova Bomb, or Needle Storm. Since you aren't too far under power and Atrax' health didn't change, you can elect for a 1-floor strat where everyone goes up to the space station after you get the Operator Augment and defeat the 3 Servitors and Tormentor that spawn down below. You will need to coordinate damage, so when you find the correct copy with the scanner, everyone quickly group up, cast your class abilities, count down, and then everyone use your burst damage options. If 1-flooring doesn't work for your team, either have your scanner quickly take the pod back down, or just set up with the 3-3 strat from the start. So a team of 3 for each floor, and you pass the scanner augment by using the terminals. Once you use up your burst damage weapons, or if you don't have a better one, feel free to swap to a sword like Lament or a rocket. Then find the correct copies during final stand and you're done. Just make sure you deal with those replication orbs, either jettison them out of the airlocks or keep juggling them with the Operator Augment. Once you are finished, make sure you claim your rewards. By the final chest will be Arcite, at whom you spend your spoils of conquest to purchase Deepstone Crypt gear, as well as complete the first Divine Weaponry quest for Eyes of Tomorrow, Touch of Malice, an Exotic Cipher, or 3 Ascendant Shards. As for what to pick, that is up to you. There will be only one more Divine Weapon request, so you'll only get up to 2 raid exotics, and right now not all of them are available. When a new boss gets added each week, so too will the exotic weapons offered grow. If you want, you could opt to not claim the exotic weapon now and save it for a future week when more get added, if you don't prefer the 2 on hand. Other than that, feel free to keep running the Pantheon. Upon your first platinum completion of each encounter, each week per account, you'll be awarded a random adept weapon, with a chest also awarding 2 raid weapons, 1 raid armor piece, 5 spoils, and a trophy of bravery. On subsequent clears, you'll earn 1 raid weapon and armor piece, 5 spoils, and 1 trophy. So the activity is farmable, any drop can be a deep sight weapon, and expansion ownership restrictions have been removed. So if you unlock the pattern for, say, Bequest, you no longer need to own Beyond Light to craft it. Plus, you have some triumphs to claim for special emblems, raid spoils, and some unique adept weapons. The perks on them are a little weird, and you can oddly choose their masterwork. Hopefully you found this guide useful, and good luck on your Pantheon clears. Stay tuned for future weekly guides on Pantheon with a comprehensive breakdown when all 8 bosses are in rotation. If you have any questions, advice, or thoughts on Pantheon, comment down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, just leave a like, subscribe for future Destiny guides, and come check out the Sundog Gaming Discord. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.